Thank you.
And then we will move to the WASB resolutions, and I think we'll try and make this a little less painful than some years. Of course, this week is the WASB convention. On Wednesday is the day that the WASB does go through their resolutions that have been submitted by school districts around the state, and the school board as a group then votes on those resolutions, whether they want to pursue those as far as they can on a legislative basis. They try to get their word out of how they feel about these resolutions. So I think, did everyone have a chance to go through those and look at them? There are a total of 16, I believe. And I did go through, I am the delegate for this year, so it's an afternoon that I will be there raising my paddle, yay or nay. So, and I did go through and wrote down, Mrs. Zardi and Mr. Gorder did go through them and put their slant on them. Did anyone else have anything to add or question what they were doing? Is there anyone you want brought forward? We can run through them quickly if you want to.
I like this one that Tomah put in.
Isn't that a good one?
That's a good one.
I think I'll go through the short version, the one that you pretty much agreed with any one of them that got rejected. I don't think there was anything you disagreed, other than the one that we submitted. Yeah. Yes. The one that we submitted that was rejected, of course, was the one where we felt we needed extra compensation or ways to promote speech pathology as a course of study and how we could do that. And they didn't want to single out a certain specialty area that they felt there were more than one specialty areas that needed support within the state to encourage people to go into. You know, I can see if they discuss it again, we can bring forth rationale. If you want me to present it again, I can.
There is such a shortage of especially speech-language pathologists that I don't know if we can meet students' needs if the university system does not open their doors a little wider and allow more people to enter that particular field. I know that, again, they're indicating that, you know, science teachers, there are times when they are harder to find, and math teachers and tech ed, those types of things, but a master's degree is required for this position. And
did WASB respond with the reason they didn't push it forward too was also they thought CSUN was going to be stepping into this?
Actually, I think their feeling is that we can utilize and contract with hospitals and other places to bring those people in if we cannot find them. So we have contacted Tomah Memorial Hospital to see if...
Do we have one?
They have a part-time speech-language pathologist who, from what I understand in the past, has not been interested in working, you know, for the school district. So it doesn't help.
No.
And we've contacted the VA as well to see if possibly they have any employees who would be interested. But other states also have speech-language assistants, pathology assistants, and I really think our state needs to look at some additional types of licensing for this area. So many of the individuals who graduate with this degree go into the medical field, and they don't go into education, so there's just a huge shortage.
And that's partly to be based on what the universities, if you didn't discuss that, on what they're allowing to enter the program. So they've really bottlenecked that, so that it's very difficult to get into the program. So they're kind of dictating who comes out and what the market will look like for those coming out.
Okay. Well, I can certainly ask people about it at least, you know, certainly bring our concern up. I don't know that they do anything about it, but
Right.
yes.
You can reintroduce it.
Yeah, I could.
Yeah, and I think when I was there, they tried to bring one back up. I think it might have been the sparsity aid. That's been on there for a while, and I think they tried to reintroduce that.
Okay. Well,
We can always submit it again next year.
That's
true.
right.
Maybe more detailed rationale.
Even more. Well, I can just go through and list. We had, there was a low-cost internet access that was Resolution 1201 that the WASB supported. Resolution 1202, sparsity aid, which you mentioned, the WASB was supporting that. Resolution 1203, increasing the revenue limits aligned to CPI, and WASB was supporting the legislation to increase per pupil revenue limits statewide by a dollar amount aligned to the percentage increase, if any, in CPI, as identified in 2011. Pretty much all of these were cut and dried. I don't know if anyone has anything to bring forward. We don't have to really read through them if you don't want to. But if you do, let me know. Were we in agreement? Was everyone in agreement with how the rationale that we put forward in the notes? Okay. Then I will go forward with those. And I'll see through discussion. They do have an evening session, and maybe at that time I can ask about ours and if there's a possibility to bring it forward. So, okay. But I'm very happy to see they did, accept the one other one that we submitted concerning the statewide system for
Student
information system that we are so involved with. So that was good. So
It's always interesting. I would like to know from the past how many of these actually get put forward. I mean, you spend all that time going over the resolutions and encourage them to take it to the state to consider, and each year how many of these actually
well,
go
I can
through.
give you, this I got from last year's grouping, and there's probably one that we would have got after you were there. And it does tell what happened to them. They take them forward to the legislature and see where they can go with them. Essentially, they're presenting them as bills to be passed by the legislature.
Right.
And some make it to a certain point, and others don't make it anywhere, but they do. And then there are some that they do have closure on. At some point, they do get through. So it's not always. You want to look at that?
Yeah. Okay.
I can share that with you.
Thank you.
Okay, so then I will just take those forward as we have them delineated in the notes and vote as we suggested in the notes. So.